I mean, the Joker was born that way is literally the worst possible take.
You mean short of like, nope, I can't think of a worse take. You're right.
Right.
Well, if it isn't Cecil and Noah, now this pickle just got a whole lot more salty.
Where's that noise coming from?
And what the did you wait, I can't say
Yeah, it's because we're in the sitcom verse.
the sitcom verse?
Yeah, I changed this room into the sitcom verse because this week's episode is about failed TV pilots.
That's right. We're in the sitcom verse.
Uncle
Heath!
Why did we all just shout that out?
Don't put a wallet in my peanut butter.
That's his catchphrase.
It's true. It is my catchphrase. And I love it here. Everybody laughs at my jokes. Nobody has sex with my mom. And in order to let us have all our wacky misunderstandings, nobody has cell phones, which is amazing. It's perfect. I love it.
Okay, but I don't love it here. How do we get out?
Ooh, sorry, Noah. There's only one way out of the sitcom verse.
Only one way. What's that?
You got to step back outside and tweet something problematic.
Yeah, that's actually how Tom did it.
Okay, well, if you'll excuse me, I've got a tweet to compose about Italians.
Wait for me. I'll be right there.
Don't put a wallet in my peanut butter. Nice. Love it here.
Welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm a mediocre white man, and I'll be leading this group of desperate for attention grifters through a series of activities for your amusement. I know technically any podcast could be introduced that way, but this week, it is thematic, I promise. First up, two men who were doing Man versus Food long before the cameras were rolling, Heath and Tom.
Yeah, okay. So, honestly, it's more of a cooperative game for us. I'm like, when I say us, I mean me and the food. Like, I feel like we get in together on it.
Yeah, I mean, versus implies the food was ever a competitor in that contest, and it was not.
Okay, for you, it's the opposite. All right, fair enough. You're just like dominating the food. I get it.
I feel adversarial. I feel
it's an adversarial relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about establishing a power dynamic over the
There's
food.
a hierarchy involved, and I'm on top with the food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also joining us tonight, the cynical producers who would tell you to throw an ice cube at Snooki, Cecil and Noah.
I mean, I did it all for the Snooki.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No.
Yeah.
No. I quit the
Snooki.
show. I will quit the show.
What are you going to do with the cookie?
Well, you could take it.
Eli, I'm in this weird position where I don't know what you mean, but I still agree with you. So, sure.
Yep. Before we begin tonight, I'd like to thank our patrons. Patrons, thanks to your contributions, we've never had to take studio notes from a guy who's unaware he's got a huge Coke bubble coming out of his nostril.
We don't have to take Noah's
really
notes?
appreciate that.
I always know about the Coke bubble, Tom.
It's there to establish dominance.
Exactly.
And if you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around till the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Tom, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
See, now I'm torn. It says that we're going to be talking about the worst TV shows ever, but we're clearly going to be talking about some of the best TV shows ever. And I feel very conflicted.
Exactly. Cop Rock Gate.
Art's very subjective.
On the way. And Cecil, you dredged the bottom of the toxic lake that is TV land. Are you ready to poke Art's dead body with a stick?
I'm ready to show it who's the boss. That's for sure.
Who's the boss references do not belong in the worst TV shows ever episode. I'm sorry, Cecil. We have to have you edit that
so
out.
tell us, Cecil, are you going to talk about Supernatural or are you a coward?
I was going to wait for you to start the conversation. So go ahead. Tell us about Supernatural.
I don't like it as a bit.
So originally I was planning on doing the worst video games ever, but I thought that we did that or something like that or close to it. And we're on to like 300 episodes or close to that. And that's all starting to blur. I already did a song, like one on the worst songs and albums, and I can't do worst movies ever because 3 of the 5 of us do that same topic every week. So on a whim,
We make you do it a lot of the time, too.
I do. I come on occasion too. So on a whim, I looked up canceled pilot TV shows, and I came across a list of them, as well as a list of television shows notable for negative reception. So this is going to be a mashup of those two things.
Wow, the low end of a scale whose high end includes Big Bang Theory. That should be fun. That should be a ton of fun.
Right. So let's get started with some failed TV spinoffs. TV studios, we're always looking for the best spinoff series because it's easy to take a lovable character from an already popular show and just fill in the rest of their day and make sweet, sweet ad revenue. You don't have to sell the plot, as most people already know the character, and the plot is an afterthought anyway in a lot of these television shows.
Okay, we get it, Cecil. Nobody liked my blog. All right, you win. You win.
Okay, Eli, to be fair, nobody wrote your blog.
No, that's true.
There's chicken and an egg.
So let's start with one that spun off a commercial. How great is that? You take a commercial and you make an entire show about those characters that people fell in love with in a 30-second ad break.
Is that great? I don't know that that's great.
No, the Caveman TV
Oh,
show
God.
from
No.
Yes, love it.
2007
This is a great show. I don't know what you're
followed
talking about
this
already.
surefire road to success. 13 full episodes of glory. The original characters were from a Geico commercial where people would say, "It's so easy, a caveman can do it." And then a guy in caveman makeup would say something like, "Really, Larry?"
Classic.
To like
He's
wah
so
wah
mad.
trumpet sounds.
He's always angry because he's a caveman and they're insulting
That's
him.
exactly, that's the joke.
Good stuff.
The commercials tickled so many TV producers' funny bones that they gave them a whole fucking show.
Okay, but the season finale when Larry fucked the caveman's wife, startling, moving. That is brave television, you have to admit.
Really, Larry?
So in order to have a caveman show, you need to do a little backstory on your 30-second character sketch. They landed on, hey, what if cavemen were like a small minority group? Hilarious. So the whole show.
Well, there's only
was
so
a
many
sight
caves,
gag.
am I right? What? What?
So the whole show is this sight gag for a Neanderthal. They wrongly call them Cro-Magnon in the series, doing a desk job. And the juxtaposition is, well, really boring if it isn't a 30-second ad TV spot.
Well, also if it is, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. One critic said, quote, "I laughed, but I laughed through my pain. Caveman said in some version of San Diego where people speak with Southern accents doesn't have moments as much as microseconds suspended from any attempt at a narrative," end quote. Yikes. Another one wrote, quote, "Among the stalest pieces of bread in the loaf, and it was certainly the most tasteless," end quote.
Whoa.
Okay, the whole list really does beg the question, though, like, what is exactly wrong with TV producers? There's something there.
Yeah, but to be clear, the whole advertising mascot as a TV show concept fucking killed in the 1987 Max Headroom series, though. So it's not the concept wasn't necessarily bad.
Let's look at a very beloved show that had a couple of terrible, ugly babies. MASH. The original show MASH was about a medical army unit near the front lines in the Korean War. So the first spin-off show is called After MASH, and it starred 3 of the old cast members: Klinger, the cross-dressing clerk, Colonel Potter, the head of the MASH outfit, and the chaplain, Father Mulcahy. The colonel finds himself stateside after the war and becomes a chief surgeon at a veterans hospital. Klinger becomes his administrative assistant, and Father Mulcahy is the chaplain at the hospital. And it was not only meh, and the characters didn't work at all in this context, it was slotted up against the A-team.
No.
And I pity the fool that slotted up against the A-team. Impressively, in that time slot, it made it 1.5 seasons before it was canceled.
Okay, yeah, but like to put it in context, this is a time when what if David Hasselhoff's car was an asshole got you 4 seasons, right?
That's true. Love that.
Man,
guy.
After MASH, it's clever, I guess. It's fine. I feel like it should have been a spinoff starring like a potato head family called like Mashed Potatoes. That would have.
Or the Munsters.
Oh,
Munster
Oh,
Mash.
nice.
Right?
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. They're all doing it. MASH spawned another television abortion called Walter that followed Corporal
This is so
Radar
sad.
O'Reilly, who was a radio operator at the MASH unit. There is a short synopsis for the pilot that I found, and this is amazing. Quote, Radar had lost his family farm, packed his beloved mother off to live with relatives, had a wife who left him for another man on their wedding night, and then tried to commit suicide before joining the St. Louis police force, end quote.
Yeah, they tried the live studio audience thing for that, but it was just like, yikes. What?
Yeah.
So they had to go with the laugh track, I guess.
I don't know, Heath. It sounds as funny as MASH to me.
Fucking shit. I watched a lot of MASH with my dad. This is a seriously dark take on Radar O'Reilly. Like,
Right?
It is.
again,
It really
what is
is.
wrong with TV producers? Who hurt you guys? What?
Yeah, man.
Radar?
Suicide is painless, according to the song, right?
The St.
Jesus.
Louis police force? Who hurt you? Come on. St. Louis? Okay, next spinoff, the Brady Bunch Hour. The concept here is pretty much the Brady Bunch does an hour show, but it's like a show within a show where they sing and there's a very loose plot. I guess they had guests on like Donny Osmond and Lee Majors, and they did a Brady Bunch stuff with them, and then they sang. The show had 9 episodes before being canceled, and the Wikipedia article lists each song, and they sang 135 songs in 9 episodes. So, like,
Jesus.
135 opportunities to pierce your own eardrum to make it stop. They had the whole cast of the original, except they replaced Jan and no one noticed.
That tracks.
I bet they would have noticed if they'd replaced Marsha.
Oh, God.
Fun fact, if you get that joke, your back hurts.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just doing the math.
does.
That's 15 songs an episode.
Yes.
That's like
That's
every
15
4
songs.
minutes if there's no ads.
If it's a 3-minute song, Noah, that means there's 1 minute in between songs.
But there's
1 minute.
commercials. There's commercials
Right.
though, Tom.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you're right.
They're
Cut
just
the
breathing
commercials
in
out.
between songs.
The songs just bleed into the other songs.
Right, like the one song has to start before the other one's over. I feel like.
Ah, fuck.
Now, one show from MTV lasted several seasons, and it was called The Osbournes. It was a show that basically followed around the family of Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne as they did some pre-planned drama bullshit and said bollocks a whole bunch of times. Well, I mean, I think that's what he's saying. Anyway, after it went off the air, Fox basically tried to snatch up the family for a variety type show that would air on After American Idol called The Osbournes Reloaded.
Yeah, ironically, still better than Matrix Reloaded, but that's a low bar to crawl over. So
Not untrue.
Very
The Osbournes'
underrated movie.
entire show premise was it's funny to laugh at people who've had strokes, but with a British accent.
Mhm.
That was not actually funny.
You're
There's
right.
what, just
You're right. You're
Fuck.
right. It's exactly that. Like The Osbournes Reloaded was supposed to be a singing and sketches with guests and stuff, and it was canceled after 1 episode. It had originally wanted to be like an hour show, but they cut it down to 35 minutes of just juicy footage. Here's what the plot was. Quote, would have included tape parody skits, often featuring Ozzy and drag playing such characters as Audrina from The Hills and Juno. Other bits included the Osbournes working real jobs, like Ozzy and Kelly working a drive-through fast food, for example, or a recurring Littlest Osbourne segment where British kids swearing like Ozzy and Sharon. And then finally, the Osbournes meeting other families from across the country that share the same name, end quote. 26 Fox affiliates decided just to air something else. Like in Milwaukee, they ran a round table about drug abuse in the time slot.
okay, Cecil, are you sure they didn't show the Osbournes?
Yeah, right.
Can't be.
No,
I
everybody
can't
was
be.
airing in a roundtable about drug abuse. The Milwaukee guys were just the ones that knew it. Yeah.
I love it. The next one isn't so much a spinoff, but the producer did have some serious chops. This is Stephen Bochco. He created Hill Street Blues, LA Law, NYPD Blue, and Cop Rock.
Yep.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
A fucking
This is
musical
I'm so
cop
happy
show.
right now. I'm hard as a
And-
fucking rock.
And here's the thing. It's a
Cop
musical
rock.
cop show, and it's not something funny. It was supposed to be like a gritty cop drama, but with people like bursting into song.
Yes.
And the show only had 11 episodes. And I did include a clip here where, just like every cop show, there's like some kind of pre-brutality briefing at the beginning of the night. And then it just breaks into song.
Okay.
It's called Let's Be Careful Out There. I'm going to send the link to Noah. Hopefully he remembers to put it in the show notes. If he doesn't, just search for Cop Rock. Let's Be Careful Out There, listener, and watch this. One of my favorite things I read about this show comes from directexpose.com.
Only the best sources for you, listener.
There's no yik yak.
Quote. Here's the quote from directexpose.com. Quote, in one of the more bizarre song and dance numbers, the otherwise serious show showcased a substance-addicted mother crooning about the baby she was trying to sell for $200.
$200 though? Like, okay, I know she's dealing with addiction, whatever, but you got to sell that baby for more than $200, right? What's the going rate for a baby? Like, you got to put it, put the product in the person's hand. You got to sell that hard. That's unfortunate. The coffee is for closer's number right after this would have been good if they had done that.
Right. This next one is number 2 on TV Guide's worst 100 TV shows, and it's behind Jerry Springer, which means you have to be a flaming pile of trash to be a sitcom at number 2. The show was from 1965 and called My Mother the Car, and the plot is an adult dead mother is reincarnated.
Oh,
No.
As you get it. You understand.
No.
You know what I was going for. Anyway, she talks to him from the car stereo and he gets into like wacky hijinks. The real problem with this show is that they took out the laugh track. So it winds up feeling a lot more melancholy and oddly dark. It lasted one season, which was 30 episodes back then, which is like 6 seasons in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, right. Well, to be fair though, the Christine crossover episode where the guy like fucks her tailpipe and she starts killing his friends would have been way weirder with the soundtrack, honestly.
Yeah, wait, did he drive his car, mother?
Yep.
Like, did he have to get inside of his mom for the show?
It's not
Did
gonna- it's
he
gonna be
write
about me.
this?
Yep.
God damn it!
Nope.
Yep. He parallel parked that one right on you, Heath. All right.
Where's this laugh track? I thought we were
Okay,
in the
this-
universe where this didn't happen earlier, right? Wallet and my peanut butter.
Okay, this next
Fuck.
one.
Did we turn it off?
We did. This next one, I have no idea how it could have missed. A show based on a Twitter feed. Huh, Tom?
Yep.
Come on, a show based on a Twitter feed? The show starred
I'm out.
William Shatner and it was called Shit My Dad Says. Well, it wasn't called shit. It was called $pound star exclamation point, but you get the idea.
He did say that. I literally was just about to say, younger listeners, Cecil means hashtag.
The plot is about a struggling blogger, which sounds about par for the course. The blogger has to basically tap into William Shatner's shitty old mad rants for material, which, as I mentioned earlier, were once tweets on a Twitter feed of the same name. Slant Magazine said this, quote, harbors the worst qualities of every lame 4-camera laugh track sitcom on television, end quote.
Yeah, I was going to make the same show based on the same premise, but they told me there was too much dead air.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, just shake the box that he's in and he'll say something. This next one features anti-vax, unfunny, SNL making copies relic Rob Schneider in a TV
Making
show.
copies. Classic. Kev. Right?
Woof.
Love that sketch.
So Rob Schneider is in a TV show cleverly named Rob about a landscape architect with obsessive compulsive disorder. That feels like it's pulled out of a hat or Mad Libs, by the way. Those two things.
Hold on, but
It
let's add one more
really
Mad
does.
Lib. I feel like maybe an ethnicity.
Yeah, no. Let's add one more. Let's add one more wacky
Okay,
thing. He
ethnicity,
marries
please.
into a Latino
There it is.
family.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
there you go. But they didn't bother to hire anybody on the staff who's Latino to consult with. So they just wing it by eating Mexican food and they're just like occasionally saying a Spanish word.
Yikes.
I'm sure they didn't hire anybody with fucking obsessive compulsive disorder either.
Right,
Instead, it's
that's
just
very
like, I don't
true.
make him wash his hands a lot.
Sia said she'd make music for it. It'll be great.
Anyway, it was canceled after 8 episodes, and Rob Schneider went on to rant about COVID restrictions while being openly anti-vaccination. Like
So a bioterrorist.
Like a bioterrorist. Exactly. Thank you, Heath. Exactly like that.
Literally that. Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
can't make this into a sketch or a joke, so I probably should just not say it, but hear me out. We grab some right-wing hack, right? Like Jeff Dunham or fucking Kevin Sorbo, and we tell them that they've been casting a sitcom, and we call it something like America All Funny. But then, after he's already shot 2 episodes, in episode 3, he gets COVID, and the rest of the sitcom is just it raging through his shitty life, destroying it, right? He gives it to his sassy Southern mama who dies, and his kid gets long COVID and has to quit a sports team, and then he just fucking dies for the last 6 episodes of the show. It's just a straight medical drama for the last 8 episodes.
Okay, but if they need a live studio audience, I'm there for the laughing. I'm on it. They call it the Vax of life, by the way. There you go.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. A shape-shifting crime-solving mystery drama called Manimal was canceled after 8 episodes in 1983. The story was that a rich playboy had the power to change into any animal he chose. But, quote, while Jonathan had the ability to change himself into any animal, he would transform into a hawk and a panther in nearly every episode, unquote. So he would use this amazing power to be able to transform into the animals that they had on set to fight crime.
He shows up to a crime scene with a bunch of cops. He's just like, caw. Okay, yeah, that's nothing. That's not helpful. I'll switch. I'll do the Black Panther. Blam! And he just gets shot.
Yeah,
all right, see. All right. Maybe just human. And then I switch like at a moment.
Well,
mental note.
even worse though, there was always like a super duper obvious animal he could have just changed into in any situation. Like he would be handcuffed. Right? You'd be like, just turn into a fish for a second, you dumbass. So every episode was just 7-year-old Noah screaming, turn into a fucking flea for an hour.
How would you do it?
I don't know, man. Like, call me cynical, but like, if I had the power to change into any animal, I would just change into David Beckham and never change back. What the fuck? What?
Interesting. Are you a big like Spice Girls fan? Like, what's happening? Are you a big football fan?
No. Why? You don't have to be a football fan to be like, that dude's fucking hot. I would just change into someone more attractive than
He's
myself.
an attractive man, no question.
I would just walk around being attractive instead of looking like this all day.
And just bending it constantly.
I'd be like a huge chunky cat, so girls would rub my belly all the time.
There you go. Nice.
I've got great news about what I currently am.
Another interesting note about Manimal, the protagonist was a very wealthy guy. So, of course, wealthy guys, they wear a 3-piece suit everywhere. So every time he turned into a Manimal animal, he would tear his clothes off, like literally ripping the fabric. But when he would change back, the clothes were back on and perfectly intact. And speaking of ripping a new one, the station decided to run this show up against Dallas at its height. So yeah, it was canceled after 8 episodes. It was regarded as one of the worst sci-fi shows of all time and one of the worst general TV shows of all time.
Okay, but what did people think of Manimal, Cecil?
This next one sounds... Well, to me, it sounds dumb, but I think I'm probably going to get some pushback on that. You know that monster truck commercial where they say, Sunday, 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 and they talk about like a 4-story tall car-eating, breathing, like fire-breathing Truckosaurus?
Yes.
They tried to make a
Behemoth.
show about the Truckosaurus or whatever it's called. The show is called Steel Justice, and it only had 1 episode, the failed pilot. The premise is that in a nearly apocalyptic future, a cop from the mean streets of, well, I couldn't find out, so let's just, I don't know, let's say Connecticut. Let's start over. A cop on the mean streets of Stanford is out for justice. Steel Justice.
Cecil, I am sold. Where can I watch this right now?
Right? Yeah, to be clear, the number of acceptable Truckosauruses in an episode about notably bad TV shows, it's below 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
He does fight crime, but only this weekend at the Allstate Arena. The rest of the time, you're fucked. You're on your own.
Anyway, here's what I could piece together from the plot. The protagonist's kid dies, and according to one synopsis, the kid inhabits like a small mecha dinosaur toy. The
Like you
hero is
do.
visited by a time traveler that tells him that the hero has this special power.
That doesn't make
What
it.
could
What?
this amazing power be? Eye lasers? Flight? Super strength? Invisibility? No, he can morph small things into larger things.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pause a second here so Tom can make an obligatory dick joke.
Well, no, I don't want to, Cecil. No, I don't want to.
I can't
Okay,
do it
no,
when
that's
you're
fine.
looking. I can't
That's
make
fine.
this
I'm
joke when you're
watching.
looking.
I'm watching.
Hurtful.
The future cop with the shape-shifting power decides to use his gift to fight crime and turn his son's toy Carasaur into like a giant fire-breathing Carasaur.
So he has the ability to make things larger and breathe fire.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to warn me of that ahead of time because otherwise this is a gonorrhea joke that Tom has to
Okay,
make,
I got
right?
that cleared up, Noah. I told you that it's cleared up. God, you guys don't respect
The
me.
robot chews through the bad guys that are just like going to shoot a bunch of bullets in an enormous metal monster. The production budget for this was so high that they scrapped it.
Metal.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
No.
Okay, forget it. It was a pilot, and then it never made it into a series.
All right.
Just-
Well, I tracked down Manimal and steal justice with the fortitude of an Israeli Nazi hunter. We'll take a quick break for a little apropos of nothing.
You heard me, lady. Your money or your life.
Oh, help me. Won't somebody help me?
Stop right there.
Manimal.
That's right. I've spotted your crimes with my eagle eye.
He's an eagle.
Oh, fuck.
You shot him.
Yeah, of course I shot him. He turned into an eagle to attack me.
So much blood.
That's not fair.
Okay, how is that not fair? I have a gun. You saw.
Well, go on, Manimal. Turn into a different animal.
Help me, call 911.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's an animal that can't be shot, I wouldn't recommend it.
He's dead.
Yeah, so what? Can I have your purse?
Yeah, sure, I guess. I'm just going to cancel the cards anyway.
Yeah, sure.
There's like $8 in there.
I don't even need the money.
And we're back. When we left off, Cecil was saying mean words about amazing ideas, and I was very confused. Cecil, please move on to some bad television shows.
That's not going to stop because you're going to be conflicted. I think, here's my prediction. People who listen to this will be conflicted for the rest of the episode on whether these are good or bad, okay?
All of a
That's
sudden,
my
there's going to be
prediction.
these YouTube hits on these shows. Be like, what? Is this good
I
again?
know.
What is happening? What happened?
Somebody's going to re-pitch it to a producer.
I don't know. It's got
Guys, obviously
traction.
we need a gritty reboot of Manimal.
What do you think of this cop rock thing? It has legs, guys. It's got legs. For this next batch, I wanted to talk about several TV shows and pilots that just have like terrible premises. Now, so far we've heard some pretty bad ones, but these next few are really something else. So let's start with a lighthearted one. Puchinsky.
Oh, Jesus.
The main character, the actor who played Frankenstein's monster from Young Frankenstein, plays Stanley Puchinsky, a Chicago police detective with the most Chicago-sounding name in history. Anyway, he dies in the line of duty, and he's reincarnated into a bulldog. So, like, the breathing problems he had in life can follow him into the afterlife. I mean, he really isn't reincarnated. This is like a fully grown dog. And in the synopsis of the show, it's like a very flatulent dog as well. The former partner of Stanley Puchinsky takes in the dog, and he's like a crime-fighting detective, and they go on to fight crime. Do yourself a favor, listener. Actually, can I just play this clip
Yes.
right
Yes,
now for
yes,
us?
you can.
I'm just
Please.
going to play the 40-second. It's a 43-second trailer. I'm just going to play it.
And
Let's just see what
listener,
happens.
imagine a terrible puppet bulldog through this entire thing.
This is
It's
not
a puppet.
good taxidermy. It's like a bad taxidermy version of a bulldog.
Is he going to fart, though? Because farts are
Oh, yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he farts.
Peter Boyle is a tough, ill-mannered cop who is run down in the line of duty. But that's not the end of his story. No. He's reincarnated.
So judgy.
Surprise! as a streetwise bulldog in Puchinsky.
What are you going to do now?
Well, first I'm going to try licking myself, and then I'm going to catch my killer.
The talking dog teams up with his astonished former partner to put the bite on crime. It's touching.
Look at me. I've become a dog. It's all sinking in now.
It's poignant.
But it's life. It's precious life.
It's unforgettable.
You're a dog. I'm a cop. This is ridiculous.
That's the best. Okay, everybody. That's the best 43 seconds of your life. And Tom, that's your cue to make a sex joke.
Okay, all right, I feel typecast. Now I want a Radar O'Reilly gritty rewrite. This is
You want to wind up in St. Louis?
I'm sorry. I cannot believe that they didn't fucking make this. They made 900 seasons of Grey's fucking Anatomy, and they couldn't give me this. I'm going to kill myself. And it's their fault.
I would like to escalate. It's literally impossible. I can't talk after you do that.
This next one is right off the what the fuck tree. It's The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. The story is about a black English lord that flees England because of gambling debts to a pre-Civil War America. I guess really close to the Civil War America because he gets hired as Abraham Lincoln's personal valet, and Lincoln was in office for like a month before they first shot of the Civil War. The show then depicted Lincoln with his stereotypical gay affectations and everyone else on his staff as incompetent alcoholics. Before it released, the NAACP protested the show outside Paramount. The show had only 9 episodes and then was canceled by UPN.
Wow. Well, that's the TV equivalent of being fired from a volunteer position. UPN.
I have no idea how it failed. Here's the synopsis for the first episode, guys. Quote, Lincoln engages in telegraph sex with a woman he's never seen. End quote.
Telegraph sex. So like, don't stop. What? Stop. Don't stop. What? Who comes first?
Wait, amazing.
It's very confusing.
Here's a reality TV flop called Who's Your Daddy? This fucking horrible show was originally pitched as a series, filmed as a series, but instead just aired as a 90-minute pilot on Fox. So it was basically canceled before it even aired. The premise is simple. An adult that was given up for adoption as a child is put in a room with multiple people pretending to be their biological father.
Cool.
The contestant, this is great. The contestant would then talk to each and get to know them. When the contestant finally guessed who was their actual father, they would either guess correctly and get $100,000 or guess incorrectly, and the person they picked would get $100,000. But the producers weren't too cruel. The person that would be reunited with their bio dad, regardless of who they picked. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, I mean, shit, you know what they say. You can't pick your family, especially if they didn't want you. The TV show.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so true. It's such a mean show.
Fuck.
It's so mean.
I don't know why I take my pills. It seems like a waste of whatever's in them.
Fox again tried to stretch some boundaries with this next one. Whoops! A post-apocalyptic sitcom about 6 survivors of a nuclear holocaust.
Sorry, the title is Whoops.
The title is Whoops.
It's hitting a little close to home at the moment. Just
Yeah, I know. The premise is that at a military parade, where I guess they have like real nukes going down the road, 2 kids with a remote control car accidentally kill the whole world in nuclear fire. 6 survivors eke out a terrible existence in a farmhouse.
Cool.
The players were a former school teacher, a homeless man, a venture capitalist, a biologist, a feminist, and a hair salon employee.
oh, wait a minute. A feminist? Like, is that a job? Like,
I didn't look up for
right,
jobs.
yeah. What are you? Oh, I'm a biologist. Oh, and you? Oh, well, I believe women are people, and that takes all day.
It's so exhausting.
It's hard
What?
to imagine such a stellar idea falling flat, especially after hearing the synopsis for episode 10. Quote, Christmas is approaching, but it's not the same as the nuclear holocaust has ruined much of the world's evergreen population.
Sure.
Oh, is that
While
the problem?
cleaning out
That's
the
a big
chimney.
drawback. That's a big
Hold
drawback.
on, there's more. where the group finds Santa Claus has visited the group, but appears distressed. Santa later reveals to the group that he is suffering survivor's guilt as his workshop in the North Pole had a fallout shelter, but the door slammed shut and Mrs. Claus and all the elves were unable to get inside.
What?
Cool. I guess Santa needed to learn to put bros before ho-ho-hos.
Jesus Christ.
Rudolph with your nose so bright. Actually, that's no help at all.
Yeah, we're all going to glow in the dark after this. It's not really going to matter anymore. All our noses.
Such an amazing idea. God, it's so good. God, it's so funny. Okay.
How does that get canceled? That's crazy.
I don't know. It's so good. It's so good.
People don't understand art. It's humanity. It's a problem with humanity.
With all
Oh,
this
it's
radiation,
so
a
good.
tooth fairy comes every day.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't been racist enough. Let's turn it up on this next one. This next one has 21 episodes. It was on UPN in 1996 as it touched a story of two young black astronauts, Ty and Morris, as they fly around space in a lowrider called the Space Hoop Team.
It feels
Oh, God.
racist to listen to
It's
this.
going to get worse, Tom. It's going to get worse. Here we go. The car has a female computer AI called Loquisha.
Nope.
And in the first episode, they return home from their trip to Jackson 5. You get the idea. The show is called Homeboys in Outer Space.
No.
And look, I'm not saying a show like this can't work. It's just that this one didn't. To quote one reviewer, quote, the show might actually work with the right sort of sloppy impotence, but the writing, acting, and production feel merely sloppily indifferent, end quote.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about a group of people collectively that couldn't make fire-breathing, crime-fighting truck dinosaur work. So, yeah, no, this is a little beyond
I
that.
guess that's true. Okay. Okay, I'm a professional. I'm going to make it through this. I want to end with this one. It's called...
What you got there, Cecil?
It's called Cecil. Tell us all.
It's called Heil Honey, I'm Home.
No, the fuck it isn't.
Wait, seriously? That's the title of a show?
It's called Heil Honey, I'm Home, and it's a British sitcom about a pre-World War II Adolf Hitler and Ava Braun who live next to a Jewish couple named the Goldsteins.
Amazing.
Are we living in the producers?
Okay. So no, I want to say that the producer of the show, is supposed to be mocking American sitcoms. That's according to the creator. The show did air. The pilot was played on the BBC. The show was shot, and it shot 8 episodes, but they were never shown on TV.
Okay, now that is a legitimate war crime. That's
And once you hear the plot, now listen to the plot. The plot. This is the pilot plot.
Jew's the boss. That could be the name of it also.
That's so wrong. Oh, God. Okay. The pilot was that Neville Chamberlain was coming over to the Hitlers and Adolf didn't want the Goldsteins to interrupt. But the Jewish neighbors find out and then crash the party. Some of the characters get drunk and they dance a conga line with everyone chanting, I came, I saw, I congaed. They're dancing around the living room while Hitler hides the Peace for Our Time agreement in the icebox.
oh my fucking god.
Historical reference. Nice.
And if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, Cecil, what would it be?
I didn't learn anything this episode either.
No.
Yeah. And are you ready for the quiz?
I came, I saw, I conquered.
All right. Cecil, other than the Vax of life with Kevin Sorbo and his family slowly dying in pain, what's the most popular TV show about anti-vaxxers? A, How to Get Away with Murder. B, Hydroxychloroquine's Gambit.
Nice. All right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Mwah,
C,
mwah.
MacGyver Mectin. Or D, Tucker Carlson tonight.
Oh, man. Oh, they're all so good. Finnegan's Wake. No, forget it. I gotta say, I've never seen Queen's Gambit, so I can't go for B, but MacGyver Mectin, I'm standing on my chair applauding you, Heath. It's fucking brilliant. I'm MacGyver Macton.
No, it was actually Tucker Carlson tonight, the #1 rated cable news show in America.
Too real, Heath. Too real.
It has to be C for the bit to work.
All right, Cecil, clearly there is something deeply wrong with TV producers. Not because these shows all failed, but because A, Alf, a story about a secret pussy-eating Muppet alien that a suburban family keeps as a secret pet, lasted 4 seasons.
4, huh?
Just 4.
B, Harry and the Hendersons, a show where Bigfoot secretly lives with a family in the suburbs, lasted 3 seasons.
I thought it was a movie.
It's also a TV show, 3 seasons
Oh,
and
I
a
didn't
movie.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Huh.
C, Small Wonder, a very disturbing show about a family who goes full Stepford Wives with a robot daughter they dress as their maid and hide in their suburban home, lasted 4 seasons.
Yikes.
And D, Full House, a show where a family is brainwashed into believing David Coulier is a comedian, lasted 8 seasons, and in fact recently relaunched.
Tom, seriously, cut it out. Cut it out.
I'll fucking kill you.
All of the above.
Oh, all of the above so hard.
Oh, so good.
All right, Cecil. Which of the following pilot pitches about our motley crew is the best idea? A, the one where we're all dolphins. Cetacean needed.
Cetacean needed, exactly.
B, the one where we're all vampires. Bitation needed.
Jesus.
Or C,
Okay.
the one where we all have the same politics as Joe Rogan. White nation needed.
I love C. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it, but I
So that's
I
it.
have the same
Yep.
politics. So.
It's on Fox.
All right. So, Cecil, I have one for you. Which was the most depressing fact for a TV show writer to come to grips with in the late 90s? A, the fact that the most popular work in your field was self-described as being about nothing. B, the fact that the assholes who wrote Full House were almost certainly more successful than you. Sorry, Heath. C, the Oklahoma City bombing. It was hard on all of us. It's really kind of scary. Or D, the rise of reality TV proving that shows weren't demonstrably worse without writing it all.
Oh, Jesus, it's fucking D, isn't it?
It is D. Yeah, it's going to be really
All
bad.
right. Well, before Cecil starts counting our podcasting chickens, I'd like to announce him the winner.
And I will announce Noah as next week's essayist.
All right. Well, for Tom, Noah, Cecil, and Heath, I'm Eli Bosnick. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week. And by then, Noah will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can read literally thousands of great novels and poems for free. Like there's worlds to explore, there's beauty and vision, and it's all at your fingertips. Also, the Jersey Shore is back.
No.
If you want to watch that. And if you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
More like zing zang patty wang, right?
Heath, come on, man. The show's
Vic.
over. We gotta
Nailed it.
turn this back into the
Come on, no,
podcast.
can I have? Just give me like 10 more minutes.
Dude, the episode is over.
See, so please, just 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 more minutes.
Thank you. Nice. I put a wallet in my peanut butter. Ha.